Okay, so I'm going to come back to you.
Yes.
So Lulashe, I really do want to ask because this has always been my one challenge.
Yes.
I mean, last year I did struggle with my health. I was going in and out of the hospital and all of that. And then, when you get to that point, doctors start to tell you, you know what, you have to see a consultant. And then from there, they are already thinking of dissecting you. That's like food to them now, surgeons. So I told myself, no, this is not the path I don't want to tread this path at all. I'm not going this route. So I had to, it was more like a rude awakening because it was a health scare for me, and it was a rude awakening at the same time. So I had to go back and check. At that time, I wasn't living a healthy lifestyle. I had it really, really, really bad. I mean, I had a bottle of Coke with every meal. So if I was having breakfast, there must be a bottle of Coke. Lunch, dinner, there must be a bottle of Coke. And I knew the taste of every kind of Coke, every type of Coke you can ever. So the red one, the bottle Coke with the red label was my thing. If I don't have that, forget it. And I hardly drank water. Hardly ever drank water. Some of those things. And I had late into the night, I had all sort of food and all. Even this one that I just said, reheating your oil and all of that. That one is even common. I will not lie. That kind of thing. So I had to go back. And I knew the first thing I had to do was renew my mind. Yes. I had to renew because everything starts from here. If you really want to heal your physical health, you have to work on your mind. And you have to be intentional about it. If your mind is not renewed, I'm telling you, trust me, you can't get anything done. So that was the first thing for me, filter my environment, and then I had to set boundaries. I was so particular about what I was taking in, not even in terms of food this time around. Thoughts, what I was feeding my thoughts with, what I was taking in, and what I was giving out. That I had to deal with first. Then I proceeded to my intake, my food intake, water, and all of those things. But I tell you, my biggest challenge now, having to eat all those things. To be honest with you, every day it's a conscious effort for me to plan my meal ahead of time. Because if I don't, I end up eating what I'm not supposed to eat. Yes, I saw the results. In fact, 2 weeks into my lifestyle change and everything, I already started seeing the results. And when I went back to the hospital, we were like, wow. I mean, continue. My symptoms had subsided, the pains, joint pains, all of those things, and then my urine became crystal clear, and so many things. So, but then I can't keep feeding on all of these things now. Like, I'm surrounded by ogendus. That's what I call them. So, and they eat a lot in my house. So you can imagine your partner, my husband now, eating a bowl of semo with orishirishi, and I'm there. I'm stuck with my leaves and veggies and all of those things, and then they are sipping. They are probably taking Chapman or something, and I'm left to take. I'm stuck with my green tea and all of that. It's a big challenge. I really want to ask you, how realistic are your meal preparations? Because I've seen I follow you on Instagram, right? And I've seen the way you prepare some of these meals, and they look really boring. To be honest with you, they look really, really, really boring. So, is this sustainable?
Okay. I have a couple of answers for you. But, the first thing is, like you said, the mindset. We've been sold the mindset that foreign things are the in thing, the packaged food is the right thing. And along on my journey before I got here, I had the privilege of reading a book that was written at the time. The lady was about 78 years old, and so she had written a nutrition and healing book. So I had this very strong feeling that I needed to meet her. So I checked the number at the back of the book, and then I found the author, and I asked to live with her. Wow. So I traveled from Ibadan to Edo State.
Wow.
And I lived with her for a month. Because we had been sold this idea that when you reach a certain age, you must be ill and you must die of illness.
How old was she?
At the time, she was 78 years old. So when I got to her house, she lived by herself. She was still driving. She didn't wear glasses. And I was very intrigued that I want to know what you're doing that has made you stay this long. Now she's 80 something years old and she's still alive. The first day I got there, I used to have really bad menstrual pain. Like you, I would drink soda. The soda has to be very cold. I'll eat biscuits. I hardly ate any real food. So when I got to her place, I saw there were no drinks in her fridge. She made herbs for me in the morning, and then she would cook. She had a farm in her house. She'd take me to the farm, and then she showed me different herbs, different things. She raised her own chickens. She made them food, and then would come back upstairs and she just teach me different things. By the time I left her house, she was very sad that I was leaving. By the time I left her house, my period came in her house, and the only thing that made me know that my period was here was I saw that my dress was stained. There was no pain. And at that time, I think I was about 25. I had never had a month where I won't go through pain. Like, my pain was so bad that you would think I was pregnant. I would be useless for that day. I'll be vomiting, like multiple vomiting in that day. So I was like, what is it that you've been given? So I saw that, okay, it is a direct reflection of my lifestyle. And if this woman could have done this all her life, who am I? Why should we feel that once you start getting to your 50s and your 60s, it must come with illness? It is a bad mentality that we've been sold. Now, back to your question. It's only because we feel that those other things are the right things. That's why we feel we are missing out. The moment you were born, if you were given vegetables with every meal you had, if you had just water, you would think that people who are drinking the sodas are the ones doing the wrong thing. But because we grew up believing that is the right way to live, we now enjoy. That is enjoyment. But now that I know better and have gone to school, and this is not, many people come out and say, don't eat this, don't do that. I understand the scientific implications of those things. So I will not, even though, yes, those things look attractive and all, but my body has gotten to a stage where if I take those sugary things, I will have a stomach ache immediately. My body will reject it because it's no longer used to those things. It is whatever you feed your body. Your body is like a computer. It's whatever you feed your body that it will give you back. So you only feel that you're enjoying because at the time, that's what your taste buds are used to. Once you stop it, your taste buds will reject those things. If you put sugar in a baby's mouth, the baby will spit it out. As much as you think, sugar, if that's the very first time you're putting sugar in a baby's mouth, baby will cry. Sugar,
the baby is not used to it. No.
We are like a blank slate. It is whatever you put in it that it will now give you back. So back to your question. It only looks boring to you because you've been sold that the opposite way of eating is the right way to eat. But if you understand how the lifestyle, the things you are currently eating now will manifest in the next 20 years, trust me, you will live all those things. Nobody see. For me, I practice what I preach, and in my own life, I found practical ways to.
So what have you had this morning?
Okay, so this morning I had to eat in the hotel because we stayed here, and I actually wanted to take a picture because I was like, okay, yes, I should make a post on if you are outside of your comfort zone, what are the things that are still a bit acceptable. So this morning I had some rice and I had a salad and I had a piece of chicken. That was what I ate. So yes, remember in primary school when we were taught balanced diet? A balanced diet is a diet that has your carbohydrates, your protein, and your fat, your good fat, your vitamins and your minerals. Now, so this is how your plate should be. A plate that has whole carbs. Now, the kind of carbs we eat are refined grains, refined white rice, refined bread. You should eat whole grains, like your ofada rice is a much better alternative than your white rice because the fiber is still intact. Then you have your plates of vegetables or salad.
But if you were home, sorry to cut you short, what would you have had this morning?
Most mornings I start my day with smoothies. I hardly
and what would you do, James?
That's what he is even more extreme than me. So I start my day with smoothies, and then we have tea. So we have herbal teas and then smoothies.
Okay, what kind of teas do you take?
It's a mix. He's mostly the one that makes the teas for us, but if I was alone before I got married, I have different teas, ginger, peppermint, different. I experiment with different teas, and I have a smoothie. I start my day with smoothie. Then I can now add other things. But basically, if you have in your plate, it is also a wrong mentality to believe that it's only salads that you should be eating. That's
Exactly.
not, it is not healthy. Now, I'm not saying salads are not healthy. Believing that only salads is what you should eat is not healthy. Your food should have, because you need carbohydrates. Your brain like relies on the energy gotten from carbohydrates. You also need protein for your muscle building, and then you need all the vitamins and minerals that help your body function are gotten from fruits and vegetables. So it's a mix of all those things that make your plate, not just one thing. So yes, you might see on my most times I don't have the complete protocol I give my clients are not the things I post on Instagram. I post just a part of it. So it's until you take my classes that you now understand that you can still enjoy your chicken. You can still enjoy your vegetables, you can still enjoy your rice, you can eat your jollof rice, but make sure that they are whole grains. Make sure that the protein is not filled with chemicals. All these chickens that we're eating that have been injected, make sure that your vegetables are cooked properly, they are not overcooked, so that you can get all the necessary things. But anybody that tells you that don't eat only vegetables, eat only leaves, eat only fruits, you want to eat a mix of all those things, because those are the things that help your body.
Wow. So James, I have to come back to you now. Do you have clients in Nigeria that you work with?
Oh yeah, a lot. Recently, I've spent a lot of time working with. Most of my clients are women.
They're women.
With fibroids, endometriosis, but I've had a lot of variation of clients with cancer, asthma, and I've found that to buttress, Tolu's point, yes, a lot of people don't know how to eat. A lot of people and this is why, as a lifestyle coach, I point out that everything she's spoken about are lifestyle habits. The oils, these are lifestyles that we've adopted. And the thing about lifestyles is we think these things are good for us, is why they're like any behavior. We adopt them because we think they're good for us. Now, my clients, what I let them understand very firstly, once they come to me, is that anything that they're experiencing is a quality of life, and it's as a direct result of their lifestyle. It's a very simple equation. Lifestyle equals quality of life. So if we change certain aspects of your lifestyle, and that's what we've been talking about mostly, different aspects of your lifestyle that you can change to improve the quality of your life, and the quality of your life is talking about not just healing from disease, but also preventing disease. Making sure that we're consistently in a place that is, I use a term called an upward spiral, because you're either spiraling upwards or downwards. You're never stagnant. So whatever you're doing in your life, if you ask yourself, is it spiraling me upwards towards optimum well-being, or am I just spiraling downwards towards death? So we're either eating to live or eating to die. So which one? Every time you look at your plate, think about it. What's life and what's dead? Because there are living foods and dead foods, and but then there's also the aspect that I tell my clients. We're in a consumer society. We're consistently consuming. As Yorubas will say, "Enwa osile." We're eating all the time. We wake up and think, what can I put in my mouth? My grandmother, may God bless her soul, had a term. She used to say, anything to rub mots, and that's exactly the term. Yeah, just to rub your mouth, to caress the mouth. But the thing is, we never give our body a break.
So even process the things that we're eating. So we have a lot of things that are stuck in our guts because the body has not even digested.
So how can you cleanse your gut?
Very many ways.
Naturally. Tolu.
Yes.
Tolu first, then
Yes.
James.
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing you want, like you've talked about fiber, a lot of people hear fiber but they don't fully understand what fiber does. Now fiber, your body needs fiber because the gut bacteria in your body, that's what they depend on. Now the fiber is what they take, that's their own food. Now they emit a gas that helps your body to break down the food that you're eating. So if you're not eating fiber, the gut bacteria don't have anything to feed on to be able to emit the gas that breaks down your food. So the food is just going, the body is slow to digest the food, takes a little of the vitamins and minerals that it needs, and then the others are taken into your colon. So you have a lot of food in your colon, and you see people have, that's why a lot of people have tummy issues. Their tummy is big. They might be slim, but their tummy is big because half of the things that they are eating isn't being digested. So we have to first of all cultivate the habit. Before you say you want to clean your colon, even give the gut bacteria what they need to help you digest your food. So try and cultivate, and that's where fruits and vegetables come in. And I think that's what we were sold that made us believe that it's only fruits and vegetables we should be eating. We need fruits and vegetables in addition to our carbohydrates and protein to be able to help our gut bacteria help us, basically. So if you are consistently eating fiber every day, you won't even need to get to the point where you are saying you want to clean your gut. Your gut will be cleaning itself. Your body is built in a way that it heals itself, it cleans itself up, but we now need to give it the resources it needs to be able to do the work efficiently.
Yeah,
so
and
if you don't want to listen to my own, we will not give you what after you have. No, I'm saying so. Okay. Look, mine is more of preventive. He's more of curative. So if you've lived a life where you haven't listened to the advice that I give, then
you have to go to James. And honestly, it's commendable that you guys have swiped it right in terms of your passion. You know, what you do, what you're both interested in. That's really nice. I mean, you make a good couple together. So James, I'm coming back to you now. How does the body, the mind and your physical body, how does it work?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. Thank you for asking that. Now, you see, it's very intricate, but think about this. The mind affects the body. If you a simple experiment, anyone watching you right now, try this. Think of something that made you laugh a few days ago, or a few weeks ago, or a month ago. You're already laughing, you see? Because once the thoughts come in, now there's a field called epigenetics that now even shows, because we've been told that our genes, women go for breast cancer, and this happens to women mostly. They go for all these breast cancer checks where they'll say, oh, you've got that breast cancer gene, and then the women will go, oh, that means I'm going to have breast cancer, and then they start expecting it. Now, what do you think is going to happen when they're expecting to be ill? They're going to fall ill.
Diabetes is in my family,
so therefore, yes. So that's what.
So that's what you focus on.
Is what you get. So our thoughts have a direct correlation to our body. Every cell in your body, you as a complete organism are the god of the cells of your body. So every cell in your body responds to every thought you have. Every time you say, that's why even in our cultures you'll find, I remember growing up, and then you'll watch some Yoruba film and they'll be saying, oh yeah, and put their hands on their heads, and your mommy will tell you straight, don't do that. And I never understood until I got into my field, where they'll say, don't do all those things you see on TV. Don't go into those states of mind, because they are states of being, and those states of mind create those states of being, and those states of being is who you end up being. So don't say, you don't want those things, and they'll say don't call bad things onto yourselves. My dad had a way of saying it the other day, I can't remember exactly in Yoruba, but he was basically saying that we call the things that are good onto ourselves. So when somebody says, that's why you see people say, you've got a new car, or let me tap the current. It's a beautiful thing to do, because now you're assimilating some of those good thoughts and good vibrations. So that's one of the major ways that now we also go into the beliefs. Our beliefs are, people think our beliefs are stagnant things but no, they're cultivated like our behaviors and our thoughts. We cultivate our beliefs over time. Now, our beliefs, remember when I spoke about the breast cancer check, then that woman will now have that belief that she's never, that's another belief. So we change those things from the mind. So once your beliefs change, your thought patterns change. So once we change all those things, it allows your body to now respond in kind. One of the things I actually do with my clients for every consultation that they get, for the first consultation, is I take them through a mental process. And some people actually break into tears with this process because they haven't dared. What I basically do is I take them into the future, where they're completely healed, they're completely well, and we go into the pattern in sensory terms. And now they actually start to experience themselves like you did, remembering your funny experience. They start to experience a new feeling of actually being able to be well. So now they've allowed their thoughts. And what I find, which is so strange, is most of these people who are ill dare not even allow themselves think of being well. You know, they don't want to think about, whereas, consciousness technology lets us understand that where you are and where you want to be are only a thought apart. So if you're feeling ill and you want to feel well, project your thoughts into that place of being well. Yeah, and then you can actually start. Then what happens with the mind is we have an unconscious mind. Everybody must have heard of your unconscious mind, but nobody really understands what it is. So I'll demystify it for you today. It's that part of your mind that deals with everything that is outside of your conscious awareness, your breathing, your digestion, your all those unconscious things that you do. That's your unconscious mind. So now when you can get in your unconscious mind, when you do these programs, starts to unconsciously drive you in that direction. When you're programmed in the future where you want to be in your mind, then unconsciously you find that your desires, they lead you there. Your wants, all those things that you want are things that are going to take you in that direction. All the decisions that you make are going to lead you in that. So that is how the mind and the body correlate with each other.
Beautiful. So very quickly, Chef Lola, very quickly, I want you to tell us. You have a masterclass coming up really
Yes,
soon? I think I saw that on your IG.
Yes, I have.
What's this all about? Can you tell us? And
Okay, so because we've seen the gap in market that a lot of people have the desire to be able to eat better, but they don't know how to cook the things that would help them, and they don't have the knowledge. So we decided to come up with an initiative where we teach Nigerian women better ways of cooking Nigerian foods and other foods, and then basically the ingredients that they need to help any illness that they're going through. So the current masterclass is focused on diabetes, hypertension, and high cholesterol.
Wow.
So people who have those illnesses, they then learn how to make Nigerian food that helps their illness. They learn how to remove all the things that they're currently doing that's leading or adding to the illness that they have, basically. So throughout the year, we started this last year, September, and we've been able to train about 205 women.
Wow.
A few men, but mostly they are women because women are the ones that cook. So we teach you, okay.
And why do they come to you most times? What motivates them? Is it after they've gotten sick?
No, most of my own clients actually just have the desire to learn healthy. They are now, Nigerians are now getting aware that the things we eat actually affect our health. So some people are waking up to that fact and they want to learn, okay, now what are the things I can cook? Most times I don't even have that idea. If you don't meal plan, you just eat rubbish. So okay, I don't even have the idea. Give us ideas of how we can make this thing. Sometimes my food becomes boring. There are 1,000,001 ways you can cook one thing. Because most times when you already learn a particular way of cooking, like for example, Nigerians only believe that okra is to be made as soup, but people grill okra. People add okra into salad.
Grill okra.
Yes, but we already believe that that's a mindset. We already believe that okra is only a soup. So
you grill it how? I don't get it.
So you remove the seeds. Now, if you remove the seeds and you grill it, it doesn't have that sliminess that it has when you cut it.
So what do you take it with?
So no, you grill it. You can add other vegetables. You can add chicken. You can season it.
Okay.
Like there's something I tell people. People don't like vegetables because vegetables are not seasoned. We like meat because meat is seasoned. If you take raw meat or you just cook it without anything, meat will not be palatable. But the reason why you enjoy meat is because you season it, and if you season vegetables the way you season meat, vegetables will be nice. So
do you season your meat? Do you use Maggi cubes?
No. So I've learned in all the culinary schools that I attended, and even the one I attended in Nigeria, they don't teach us to cook with seasoning cubes in culinary school. So it's
what do you use?
Herbs and spices. And it's now and that's part of what my classes do. Yes, it does taste good. Like I should show you videos after. Okay, yes, he can testify.
No, I'm going to visit you one day.
The people who attend,
I want to know what food in your house. I really want to know what food.
The people who attend my master classes have a renewed mindset because they're like, wow, so this can be nice.
Thank you very much. So James, very quickly, you haven't said yours. So your master class is coming
March 17th, but it's an online class. So we saw that there's a demand for people outside of Nigeria, and so the master class is open to anybody.
Okay, so that's Chef Lola on Instagram. Please,
So
can you
Chef_Lola
on Instagram. Okay, thank you. And
Yes.
James,
So what was your question again?
I want you to tell us how can we reach out to you?
Yes, on Instagram.
on
Yeah,
Instagram
that's
as well.
at Mind Culture Hub. So that's Mind Culture Hub, one word.
Mind
Culture.
culture.
So basically, it's
okay.
the whole idea of Mind Culture, because that's the name of the company. It's called Mind Culture, and basically everything we do, is how we've cultured our minds. Our eating patterns, like you said, like your reaction to the okra now was classic, because you reacted in a cultured way. I'm cultured to eat my okra with my swallows in a slimy way, and then I hear that there's another way they do it, and I'm thinking, but that's because now that's what we like to call the map of reality, or reality meeting your own map of reality. So you've already created this map in your brain of how things are. We all do that. That's how we're designed. But then all of a sudden we come across something that challenges what we thought we already knew, and that is what. But in the next few months, Tolu and I want to do a study for the people she's working with, diabetes, hypertension. And we're doing a study to get doctors to measure the improvements through the foods and the mind work that we do together, so that they can measure, so that we can publish this stuff for people to actually see.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. So you've heard it
It was a
all.
pleasure.
You've heard it all. Food, your lifestyle can reverse whatever it is that you're going through.
Yes.
So make an effort today to eat healthy so that you can have good consequences when it comes to your health. Thank you.
Thank you.